Trigger, heavy trigger on the J38 tonight. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, the friendliest station for you by far is known to all and
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
Well, it looks like there isn't many people around the studio here this this afternoon, this evening. I think everybody's out of the pool. They're out somewhere else. So if you are out somewhere else, hopefully you will join us at oldtuberadio.net. If you perhaps can't check in, if you can, that's not a bad thing at all. But the Old Tube Radio Network here to serve your place to be on Saturday evenings. If you'd like to check in a Tube Radio, we will be here for you to do that. My name is Dennis, one of the net controllers that have sat in the proverbial air chair here on OTR on Saturday evenings from Central California. Doing that again tonight, see what we get, see if there's skip, see if there's radios, whatever it is, we will be doing it. The Echolink link is up. I think the two-way, the crossband is up. Of course, oldtuberadio.net. I see you all on the video side. And more importantly, I'll be listening for you on the radio side. Is it my antenna broken, or is it just quiet out there? You can see we've got a little bit of wind. The sun is still up. We're in the gray line here in Central California. Let's see what happens. Starting the check-in. Hello, 00 up there in Kurzgold.
00 checking in, Dennis.
All right, I know we've got a little skip, but it's nice to hear you on the get-go, and we'll pick you up on the bookends. Thanks for getting us started off.
Thank you, Dennis.
Then I've got SWL. I gotta get the chart going here. Here we go. We got SWL number 1, that cosmic guy, Dr. J. Number 2, SWL 2, Mr. OBP is over on the video side, saying that sunspot numbers are up. A and K indexes seem to be okay, but for some reason, unlike last night, if you tuned into the Jitchbank sideband net, where the DX stations were stronger than net control for a while, and that sounds familiar, doesn't it? So we'll see. Might have some good sporadic E-skip conditions for your check-in pleasure. Thanks for joining us, Kevin. Okay, 2 is in. I've got a proxy check-in for SWL3. That is Mr. Rob, who is somewhere. I don't know. He didn't say where he was at. If you're playing the home game, this is week 7. 7 out of 8. JT is doing a remote tonight. We'll find out where he's at or what's happening with that a little bit later. Hello to SWL5, Rainmaker, if you're there. Wait, all I have to do is just get next to the J38 key, and the key's the transmitter. So hopefully it's not going to be a bad thing. What's that? Okay, they said they want to do the open now. Well, that's okay. See if they see the little red light comes on up by the pool and the cabana. So they all came running in. All right, stand by.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Okay, now they're overcompensating a bit. with too much volume. We'll get it straight here. The old Tube Radio Network. That's good. Okay, I feel like the net has now started. So good deal. I see Levon is in SWL5. All right, let's go back to the main picture here. Yeah, with the radio. That's the one I want. SWL7.
SWL7 checking in.
All right, Mr. Ed, thank you for stopping by your old Tube Radio Network. That takes us to SWL10, and I do see 10 and 30 checking in this evening. Dwayne and Chrissy made an appearance last week, just kind of popped in. We'll see if we can make it 2 weeks in a row on that. SWL11, my papers. Did they make the desk shorter? It seems like the papers aren't fitting. The score sheet isn't on here. SWL11, Mr. Cornbread. Yes, someone did say SWL11. And Dan is right there, and Dapper Dan, SWL12. Says looking good and feeling good, and likewise, if my mouse doesn't drop on the floor, looking good and feeling good here tonight. I'm having more slight technical problems. Here we go. I was able to get a short nap today. Maybe that's why. Anyway, thanks guys. Thanks for jumping here to the old Tube Radio Network. Hopefully we'll, as Tony says, our Tubes on the Air extravaganza will bring by a radio that you are familiar with, or maybe one of your favorites. Looking for SWL 13. Let's head out to Sangerway, SWL 14. SWL 16. I'm getting my, the mouse isn't working. It says, okay. Charlie says everything is as it should be. Said don't take a nap. Or when you do, wake up before you get back into the air chair, right? All right, thank you. Thank you, Charlie, for checking in out of Anoka, Minnesota, and parts near and far out, SWL 17. SWL 18, I've got a Facebook check-in. Do I? Yeah, Facebook check-in for Mr. KDA. From Derby, New York, by way of Belfast, Maine, up here with the cue cards tonight. Chet is saying hello radio and giving thumbs up to all our shortwave listeners and tube radio operators tonight. Thanks, Chet. Let's go to the guy on the west side, as we used to say. He's not so. He's still on the west side, at least from me, SWL 20. I always have to drag my feet a bit. I counted almost a 20-second delay tonight, so maybe the cables are longer out from the green room to get into the socket, that wall socket. Give Harvey a proxy check-in. He will probably stop by in a moment or two tonight. Now, it's the greatest show on earth. 21's traveling CB radio circus, Top Gun Squad, Carl built reverse preamp. I'm going to jump unannounced.
No, it's the greatest show on earth.
We got a good connection here. Let me get the audio.
21's traveling CB radio circus, Top Gun Squad, Carl built reverse preamp. I'm going to
Where's the video?
Jump unannounced.
There it is. All right. The radio room is controlled. Hello, JT and the gang out there at the Top Gun Squad. How's it going? Over. Get the replay here.
It's going real good, Dennis. We're over here at Jed 183. He's home 20 in Allendale, South Carolina. And let me stand by, and he's going to sign in also live on the CB Traveling Circus. Here he goes.
Hello, Dennis. UDX 183, Allendale, South Carolina. Checking in, waving a hand.
All right, there's be a little bit of delay on the audio as we wait for the West Coast, the East Coast, and parts beyond to come on in. It's a great-looking station you got there. Great-looking station. JT, as always, he knows. He will not jump into a less than stellar station. He will find the one that's going to do the DX quite nicely. We don't have much conditions here. I don't know if you noticed that where you're at, but things are a little low. But thanks for the live from the West Coast to the East Coast, from Old Radio Night, the greatest show on earth, traveling to the CB Radio Circus, UDX 183. Looking good, guys. Thanks for staying up late to get checked in tonight. And doing a good job. Hope whatever is going on out there, everybody's having a good time, and I bet they are. Thanks for joining us. And the skip is coming back, too, don't you know? Let's go to SWL 22. That's Tyler. I'm looking, we do have, okay, Tony's up on Echolink. Let's go to SWL 23. That is Mr. Skudzu, who is out and about, but maybe not about the microphonium tonight. We'll hold off on that one. Let's go to SWL 24.
24, checking in.
All right, sounding good as always. Don't know if you've got an early call. Maybe you've got the day off tomorrow, but if not, thanks for staying up late and joining us. All right, Joseph, Mr. Black Sheep. Let's head out to Madera Flats, SWL 25.
Hello, Dennis, 25, checking in.
That's nice when there's not a lot of skip. You can almost hear me, huh?
Actually, I have a very good copy on you. Hopefully you can hear me.
I hear you just fine. No problem whatsoever.
Very good, Dennis. Yeah, sorry I missed a few weeks there. The band's been pretty busy, but we got the weekend off, which is nice. So, anyway, good to check in, and you might as well go ahead and check in 74 too as well. And thank you for what you do, Dennis. 35 plus years, I believe. Anyway, back to you, Dennis.
Yeah, well, you and me and a whole bevy of us been out here, that and even more, keeping the Citizen Band Radio alive and well here in the Central Valley. I often hear stations talking about how there just isn't anything going on. Well, we do pretty good here. We do pretty good here in Central Valley. Ditchbank sideband net. We've got nets on local groups on 10 meters. There are a few active, and okay, I'll admit it's not like it was, but we've got a few active, a lot of active stations up on the sideband part. So we're keeping it going. All right, thanks for checking in, and I'll get 74.
Thank you, Dennis.
All right, very good. Before I turn the page, the 23 Skidoo beacon is beaconing. Yeah, it takes a while when we have the long extension cords running. What's going on there, 23? Waving a hand and a chicken leg from the beach barbecue. Annette Funicello has got to be close by, right? At least we're not grilling mud ducks. There are plenty from which to choose, at least from what I've seen lately. But I've been listening to my own playbacks on the SDR, so maybe that's it. Thank you, 23. Enjoy the barbecue, and we'll check in a little bit later if there's items of interest going on. Let's turn the page and say hello, radio, to SWL 27.
Breakdown 11.
And the break channel 11, go ahead, over.
George, you got the 24 out here. I thought I'd jump out and say hello. I haven't talked to you in God knows how long, but my goodness, how have you been?
We've been great. The Old Tube Radio Network, alive and well here on Saturday evenings. As you know, we're checking in with our shortwave listeners. There's a lot of radios that are ready to go, and thanks for jumping in and saying hello, radio, for the Old Tube Radio Network. Over.
Okay, Roger. Listen, you have a wonderful evening and all that good stuff. And God bless. The 24th here out of Fresno. We're going to be QRT. I'm going to go up on Sideman Channel for a while, so you take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks for stopping by. Join us at oldtuberadio.net. There's a video link there, or right here, live and direct like you're doing now. Looks quite nice. Where are we going? The direct and net roll call. We called 27.
By the way, the person on this end was Richard. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
All right, Richard, please stop back by and let us know how things are going. 27, I don't hear anything on the crossband. 28, now 28, were he to have the proper antennas, and likewise myself would be checking in on the crossband. He's not that far away. I bet we could do a single hop, maybe, from somewhere in Sacramento. But Gary is in, saying hello radio, just got out of the spa, nice 70-plus a day with the Delta breeze. Man, how do you do it? Well, that's why. It's that type of weather. And you can see the breeze behind me. That's what Gary's talking about. He's up the road a piece, maybe about 190 miles, maybe 200 miles, depending where you're at. And the breeze from the San Francisco Bay cools them down. By the time it gets to us, it's pretty awful. Although it was cool today. I think it was 90, 92. So glad you're enjoying the day, Gary. We've got an X in the square. And like you, we are waiting for those tube radios to check in. We are going to give a check-in for Mr. Loner at SWL 29 and SWL 30 moments ago. Said hello radio as we were checking people in. The mini grass is way down, so I'm waiting. I know I'll have to look at the DX map. Do we have? Is the DX map up? We can check just before we go on here. Let me pull the right page up. Is it coming up? It's oh, there it is. It's redrawing. Here's the DX map, and you can see. Look at that. There's something over Southern California, Arizona. The guys over in Kakalaki might have a little action. See, there's something going on there, but boy, here on the West Coast, Texas maybe, there are no little lines heading out much farther. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll get the good kind of short skip in there. Let's go to SWL 31, SWL 32. Shortwave listener 33, I know we're going to check in and a honking proboscis on this one. Over.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. And I didn't injure myself or any affiliated proboscis guy. SWL 34, hello Jimmy if you're listening. In fact, let's see who else is listening. I'm going to go to the video site. I see we need an early check-in for 57 Brown Dog Audio. Let's do that now. I didn't call for early check-ins, but we can do what we call almost early check-ins. Mr. Brown Dog Audio has a busy day tomorrow, as do I, as a matter of fact. It's going to be busy and probably physical. I got to do a lot of heavy lifting. More so than just keying up the microphonium. All right, Brown Dog, we got you in there. UDX 183, St. Hello Radio. I like the station over there. That is, I wish we could go on the road here at the Old Tube Radio Network. That's a cool way to do it. And you guys have some, wherever you're at, you have some good internet. Because the delay wasn't as much as it normally is. I want to say hello to SWL 69. I see you there, Kenny. Checking in from Tulsa, Oklahoma. We will get you in.
Yes. Hello, King.
Yeah, Chris saying hello. Hans is joining us from Copenhagen. Alpha 173. Or Oscar Zulu. Is that right? Oscar Zulu 1. I will have to listen in to see if I hear in the Oscar Zulu station. Probably 20 meters, probably in the morning. We will see. I know the East Coast guys. Those East Coast guys don't have any trouble talking to you, but here in California, you got to have one of those big rotating tower things, maybe. Or maybe not. We'll find out. Who else is out with us tonight? Dwayne. Anyway, well, we'll keep going. Brown Dog is in. We're on page 2. Didn't hear from Jimmy. How about Mr. Bill? I know he's in there. SWL 35. Yeah, he topped my list. Checking in from cool Cheyenne. Yeah, but anything is not 9 degrees is cool. Hello, Mr. Bill. From your gang of crazies here in the Central Valley of California. Hope all is going well at Red Monkey Communications. SWL 36. I know this station is ready to key down on frequency. Hello, SWL 37.
Let me run and get him real quick. Yeah, SWL 37 here, over.
Over. You are sounding good. Hope all is well. And the X is in the square.
No, I've been hobbling around here. I've got gout in my foot or something, my toe. It is just throbbing. So I don't know if I'm going to be in here much longer to check in radio, but I wanted to at least check in. But I am in definitely a whole lot of pain. So I get back to my easy chair.
Okay, sorry about it. I got to bring the receive volume up. Everybody's saying, how come we can't hear you? It's my fault. Now you're sounding good. So, yeah, turn up the volume. Maybe you don't have to have the microphone. You've checked in already. 37's got the big beacon right here on the old Tube Radio Network, and hopefully you can get on the mend over.
Okay, I thought it wasn't working right or something, but no, never mind. All right, it's working, I think. So, all right, thank you, Dennis. I'm out here. I'm going to look down on the cloud here. Take care.
All right. Thanks for that, Chris. Sounding good. Also, hello, radio to the One Element out there. We're in the direct net roll call. Skip is a little bit low, but that doesn't mean it can't come beaconing in at any moment. Hello to Sam, SWL 38, jumping on the key out there in Byron. Also, I will get Dennis, SWL 96, checked in. We'll get you checked in, Dennis. You probably hear, if you're near the radio, you can probably hear me. There's a little bit of skip from Hawaii, but local stuff is looking pretty good tonight. Thanks for stopping by. And Levon, I agree. The sound quality on 183's system is good. It's got a good thing over there. A good thing going on. Have to do a net program out from that shack for sure. SWL 39. Okay, now we've got audio. SWL 40. SWL 41. That was Road Dog 507. Was there an early? It's a Brown Dog. We got an early check-in. Want to see if 41 needed an early check-in. SWL 42.
Yeah, Proxy and 42 in the gang.
Okay, 42 in the gang. Mr. KW and affiliated stations. And Sam, yeah, maybe. It's always maybe next time when we don't have any of those 2,000-mile relays to help us out tonight. Get you checked in via the Hawaiian relay system there. SWL 43. SWL 44. All right, I think I heard an AM beacon around the hill, down the corner, and up my street. 44, you're checked in, over. And there's 507 out of beautiful New York saying good evening and hello, everyone. Thank you, Road Dog. 44 is in. SWL 45. Hello, Paul and Kelly. Over. All right, 45. Hello, Paul. Up there in beautiful North Fork, where I bet the weather is just outstanding. Hope you and Kelly are doing well. Over. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a tree in the way or something. The signal is a little bit light, but you're beaconing through. I have no trouble hearing you on a clear frequency. Over. All right, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to... I'm looking for a knob here. Here we go. I think maybe we'll have to get up there and have a search party. Find out where that coax is going. Over. All right, very good. Thank you for joining us here on the Saturday nights. And 2112 CB line. No, not Kelly Ripa. Not that's not Regis we're talking to. That's Paul. Although Regis hasn't been on the show with Kelly in a long time. That shows you how long ago I was at the TV station. We used to record Regis and Kelly in the mornings. SWL 46, SWL 47. See, everybody's out barbecuing. Everybody's having a good time. The sun is still up. Nice little breeze. A warm breeze, albeit. SWL 48. I heard this guy moments ago. If you're still there, take a transmission. SWL 49.
Hello, Dennis. The old minor 49er here checking in, shaking the pan, and not giving a damn. Wishing everybody well. And you know what? I believe there's somebody else here who would like to say a quick hello.
Hi, Dennis. Country Mama here. Just hoping you're having a good Saturday. Me and the hubby's going to get a brewski and go swimming by moonlight. That's what we're doing tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, don't give him any ideas here at the control point. They'll want to do it as well. Sounds like a great time. You're all sounding good. Check in. 49, Smitty and Country Mama. Sounding good. Continue on, and we'll want a full report next week. Over.
Hey, we'll let you know all about it. Have a great one, Dennis.
Peace out.
All right, thanks. Boy, sounding good. Nice, clear audio. Is this 11 meters? You bet it is. All right, let's go to SWL 50. Out to Sangertown, SWL 51.
SWL 51 checking in.
All right, and you are sounding... take a transmission. I got to look at my S meter. Take another transmission, 51.
Westler Rockies line checking in.
All right, and not a wild card. No, it's the same signal. It's just we got such a quiet frequency. When you're full quieting above the noise, it makes you sound even better. All right, Dave, you are checked in. Thanks for joining us.
Check, Dennis. Have a good evening.
All right, checking my notes. For some reason, the key is on the wrong spot on the table. Want to say hello to 2 Whiskey 2600. Hello, Yank. Thanks for joining us. CB Lounge 212 is in there. Did I see 6520 Big Rich? Yeah, looking good. Thanks for switching on the Wayback Machine and joining us here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Who else did I see? Mark is in. 507. Phil, I'll get you checked in. I see 79 in there. We'll make sure we don't miss you. Anyway, I want to see who else. Let's go over to the other board. And who is in there? San Pedro's in the guest seat tonight. Who's in San Pedro? Out there in the harbor. Belfast, Maine, of course. A couple of Fresno stations. Newcastle, Virginia. I think it's a Newcastle. I think every state has a Newcastle. Although they're spelled different. We have Newcastle in California, but spelled all as one word. Hans is saying hello. Radio. Let's see. Does it? Will it let me see what's going on over there tonight? Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. No, it just shows me that. Is it Sunbevester? Sunbevester. I'm just mispronouncing all those. Seaborg I can do, right? Tambi and Castrop I can do. But I don't have the right accent to pull this off very well. Let's go back to the direct and net roll call. See if 52, who's probably, if he's by the golden microphone, He has said, come on, here we go, SWL 52. No, he probably checked in early, and I was away from most radios. So if he comes back by, I'll give him the official check-in. But I bet he is... Aaron is probably set up to check in on every venue that I've got, between radio high, radio low, digital mode, and, you know, he might even stop by and honk the horn. SWL 53, hello, Bob.
Yeah, good evening there, Dennis. You got 53 Biller the Legend on the east side of Fresno. You're doing a great job there. 73 there, Dennis. Take care. Have a good weekend.
All right, I like that. You know, despite my best efforts, I can often do a good job. So thanks for joining us. We got you checked in.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Page 4 is where we are at. We will get Larry checked in. SWL 55.
Checking in.
55 checking in. M&M sounding good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. 56, just for kicks.
Just for kicks, looking good. I will put the X in the square. And do I have the tracker? Yeah. Oh, I'm there. Is it number 4? Yeah, the number 4 is there. There's a couple of people traveling. It's pretty light. Sometimes you can see I don't see one truck. Come on. There is not one truck going down Highway 99. No wonder. No wonder it's so quiet tonight. All right, Phil, thanks for checking in. SWL 57, Mr. Brown Dog Audio with an early check-in from beautiful Central Kentucky. SWL 58. SWL 59. Uncle Hairball. Got an X in the square for 59, who is joining us from the secret radio bunker, I think. Uniform Delta X-ray 786. Looking good on my screen. You know, that's enough check-ins. That will take you through July if I take every one of those check-ins you got there. Let's head over to... Now, I should know this. Joe, is it like East Fresno or is it Clovis? Where are you at? Over.
6 USY on the remote.
Let me cut down a few radios here. Dennis, we're over on 99 in Dakota. To you. We're definitely not in Clovis. Okay, we're going to say evening time to you, and let's get 650 checked in first. He texted me over on the phone there and wanted for me to text him in, check him in. And we're going to check in. SWL 60.
All right, got you checking. Boy, was I wrong? Boy, your signal, you got a good signal from way out there. I usually don't do good to the west side. I think there's a tree in the way or a hill or something, or a building. Doing good. All right, I am now informed. 60's checked in. I think we have a remote check-in. We'll see if we can get it officially here at KB6GFD. Hello, radio. I think we got...
Hello, radio. Good evening, Dennis. I come to you from the city of Sonora, California. SWL 52, checking in via remote control.
All right, pretty cool. You know, pretty cool. I was not wrong in suspecting that you could check in at any possible venue I have, and I forgot to add one, and that is add a remote to any one of those. So doing a good job. The remote is sounding not too bad. It's probably takes a long time for the latency between all these wacky devices to kick in there, but you are sounding good, and you are officially checked in. Back to you. Over.
Very good, Dennis. Yes, I am currently using an app on my iPad to tap into my radio back in Fresno and talk to the beautiful people out there on the radio. We'll catch you later. K6USY.
KB6GFD, thanks. Pretty cool. All right, and that is pretty cool. You know, inquiring minds want to know. If you are really trying to get in on a Saturday evening, we try to make it as easy as possible, but still, you may have to jump through some hoops to do it, depending on where you're at. So, thanks, Aaron. Let me put the official 52 in the box here, doing a remote, through the remote into the audio remote. So, good job. We are on page 3, if you're wondering where we are, looking for SWL 61. Let me get Dino checked in, get him a proxy check in. SWL 62. Shortwave listener 63. Somewhere in Wisconsin, unless he's going to stop in a remote somewhere, SWL 64, Craig. And Craig is probably at the radio desk. Not remoted, but he's right there checking in, no problem. Let's see, also at the radio desk tonight in Iowa. And a nice radio desk it is. You can hear me fumbling. Larry can hear me fumbling with my J38 key. I adjusted one of the tension springs and I did something wrong. I mean, it's not, how hard can it be? You just have to make each piece align, but maybe that's why I got a deal on. This is the one I got the deal on at the swap meet. So something tells me there was a reason for that. Larry, thanks for joining us tonight. Let's go to SWL 65. Now we got a proxy in for Eric. Got Mr. Marshmallow checked in. SWL 66. Shortwave listener 67. SWL 68. Got a check-in, or should have been an early check-in, but we'll do it now. For Michael NY 157 up in New York. We did have the early check-in for Kenny out in Tulsa. Hey, Kenny, if you're still listening, well, we got the X in the square. SWL 70. Who's in? The Ontario CB Club. I will have to check my logbook. I may have talked to Ontario on 40 meters. I don't know. Thanks for joining us. Or is that... Which Ontario? Is it like the one south of me or the one north of me? Anyway, CB Club is looking good here on the Old Tube Radio Network tonight. This is the Old Tube Radio Network. Dennis at the controls here. Radios will be checking in shortly, checking in with the SWLs tonight. It sounds like they're coming to get Bozo control again. Breaking the noise gate, they are. Let's go to SWL 71. Looking to see if Stan is in. I'll get Stan a check-in. I know I have not been on the radio at all, if for a few moments today. Actually, I did make a couple of QRP contacts. So I don't know if there's a contest going on. Stan may be doing some more VE examinations, or maybe he's taking a much-needed rest. We'll keep our ears open. Our eyes open as well. SWL 72. And there is Mr. Cobra. Hello, Michael. We'll get you checked in. At the top of the page, looking good on the Old Tube Radio Network. SWL 74. Get Miss Jillian from the earlier check-in. SWL 75. All right, and thanks for the clarification. You've been on before. I should know that. The Ontario CB Club up north in the cold country. 63 Ontario operator Neck waving. Hey, and operator Dennis waving back here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Smitty is testing. Hello, radio. Yeah, it's working. The radio's doing okay. Let's go to SWL 77.
And And good evening, Dennis, and hello to all the listeners, far and wide. Boy, last night was incredible for DX work, and tonight it's just quiet as can be. 77 out here on the Peanut Whistle, checking in.
Yeah, I jumped in right at the last moment, beginning of the net last night, and I'm thinking, am I even on the right frequency? It was so, the signals were just constant, S9, 20 over 9. I'm thinking, that's not local. That's coming in, so interesting. So I'm hoping maybe we'll get something like that, but it'll be the West Coast here. We'll get some more stations checked in like that. As always, a very nice audio. The signal is superb, and the X is in the square over.
And thank you, sir.
Yeah, we should have a barbecue. Well, they have a barbecue, but maybe maybe we can transmit poolside next week. I'm not sure. SWL 78 to Richard. Wild Wildemar. I don't know. We're gonna try to do a link up last week, and then I got busy, and by the time I got on 40 meters, the band had gone out. I'll give a check in for a Wild Wildemar. SWL 79. I did see Mr. DC in moments ago. He said make sure to check in 79, and Philip, you are checked in now.
111 with a try.
111. Hello, radio. Can you hear me direct? I hear you direct. 111. Over. Probably waiting for the replay. Take another transmission there, Grunt. I hear you. We got you checked in. Over.
He got you 111.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Not easy. See ya.
All right. He's sounding good. Reedley is sounding good tonight. Thanks, Dennis. We got a live and direct check-in. I know he can do it. It's getting back the other way. We are the Old Tube Radio Network, SWL 80. And is it time for Bob and Steve? It very well could be. Let me see what they want to do around here. So sometimes I start to do something and they say that's not what they will say that is not what we want to do. Take a look at the Orban meter while I converse with the crew here, the Old Tube Radio Network. And they say yes, it's a go. All right. And that is good, because you got to have Bob and Steve. I got to check in with Bob and Steve to find out what goes on around here. I just never know. You never know what happens to the Old Tube Radio Network.
27.085 OTR channel 11.
All right, little REA meter action, and the reason because they just got back. The whole crew just got back. Now it's making sense. Just got back from the Dayton Ham Convention. No wonder it's been quiet around here. Episode 168 in the Old Tube Radio Network for the 20th of March, 2023. The Preakness Stakes horse race just ran. Great race. Where did Skewball? Did Skewball finish on that? The mothers loved the rides in the limos for Mother's Day, as they should. They did. Always does a good job. Bob has the most impeccable limousines ever. And so if you are lucky enough to jump into the Old Tube Radio Network and get on one of the big reds, the big blue, the big white limousine, you will be treated like a king and or a queen. So it was a lot of fun. Just got back from Dayton, Xenia, Greene County, Hamvention. And they were almost late for OTR, indeed, but they're here right now. There was a big crowd yesterday and today. They picked up a Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB at the flea market, I think. Are you able to show a picture of that? Because I don't have the remote camera. Let me see. Let me go to that, and we'll see. Okay, there it is. Very nice. Looks like a D104 microphonium. Did that go with it? That's a nice set. Was that from a ham operator or a CB operator turned ham, or a ham operator that lost their wits and wanted to part with their CB radio that probably sounds just as good on AM as any other radio that they got that they paid $4,000 for. Well, at least it's on display over in the green room. So how did they do that? Oh, he took a Costco card? All right. That's okay. I wouldn't think. So how many other vendors took the Costco card, and are we in trouble? The people running the show did a great job. It's very nice. Yes, people love the OTR shirts. They are pretty classy, I must admit. Many comments. We found a Heathkit dummy load and a tube puller. All right. So don't get those mixed up. So I'll be checking my radio with that dummy load at the bar tonight and out by the pavilion where everybody is except me and Chet and Charlie. Thanks, guys. From the Boathouse on the River in Cincinnati, Montgomery Inn's rib baked potato with their famous Saratoga chips and barbecue sauce. You can join us after the net, of course. As always, coffee and tea are on Bob and Steve, and you know what they say, something about not forgetting to feed those fish. Thanks for joining us.
27.085 OTR Channel 11.
Back in a moment. All right, and it's still quiet. Let's go to SWL 81 and SWL 82.
82, checking in from the Ditch Banks of Biola. Good evening. Oh, it's so nice and quiet out there tonight.
Yeah, can you believe this? I mean, I wish I had a recording of last night. You did a good job, though. In fact, you were getting compliments from all the skip stations wanting to check in. It was like, I don't know what net this is, but I like this guy. Let's check in. He's nice and loud. So anyway, I hear you, and we're sounding good. Over.
Oh, yeah. You're sounding great tonight. Boy, it was rough and tough last night, but we made it through the night, and got to Studio G, so a great night. Thanks for doing your show, and wow, you've had several bad nights of stuff coming in like that, but hey, you know what? It's all good tonight. All right, Dennis, thanks.
All right, it is all good. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see if we can't get some of the short skip, long skip, whatever going on tonight. You are checked in. Let's go to SWL 83, SWL 84. And I will get 84, 86, 87, and 88. Jerry has been sounding good on the noontime Jefferson net up on 40 meters. So we'll get he and the rest of the gang checked here in the old Tube Radio Network. Let's go to SWL 89. SWL 90's got to check in. If I hit the right button, I will see my screen as we call for, let's see, 90 is done, 89 is done, SWL 91. Felix is right there, the official check-in, saying hello to the old Tube Radio operators, the old Tube Radio control, and the Tube yet-to-be Tube Radio operators tonight. Thanks, Felix, as always, for joining us. SWL 92. SWL 93. Shortwave listener 95. That would be Mr. Warthog 95. Hey, there is. Uncle Hairball. I agree. I don't know what that was, but indeed, that's probably what it was. Let's go to SWL 96. We got 96. Dennis. Mr. Prunebicker checked in just moments ago. Let's try SWL 97, see what's going on in Boston. Let's see if Jim in Boston is out there tonight. And SWL 98, hello, Tracy. SWL 99. I'll get Radio Randy checked in. I don't know. Might be a good day to hear big-time stations from Arizona. Talked to him a couple of days ago. On the 40-meter path, let's go to... Oh, you know what? I think we can do... I'm going to get the Echo link checked in here. So that requires me to press all sorts of switches and buttons, and we'll see if the Echo link is working for SWL 100. Hello, Tony, KB6GFD. Tony is hanging out on the Echo link here tonight.
Good evening, Dennis. Please check in SWL 100. Back to net control, KD4BAO.
All right, thanks, Tony. You are sounding good. We are about ready to do our activation for TOTA, Tubes on the Air, where our listeners will be treated to the sound of those great glow-in-the-dark 11-meter radios that our Tube radio collectors do so well. We've got you checked in. Thanks, KAB6GFD. John is in. I saw you on my screen out there in Arkansas, SWL 102. Hello, radio. The natural state. California is the golden state. I did not know that Arkansas was the natural state. Is that an official moniker that shows up somewhere? I don't know. I'll take that as an official moniker. SWL 103. Thanks, John, for checking in. Up to now, this station broke through. Actually, it was I think it was Fishing Girl broke through the noise last night on the sideband. SWL 109. Maybe if it's too quiet, you can't check in. I don't know. SWL 110. Man, this key is... I think it's going to fall apart in the middle of the net here. We call 110. 111 you heard direct just moments ago. Thank you, Robert, for that. SWL 113. Shortwave listener 114.
114 checking in.
Wayne, isn't it nice to have a nice quiet frequency? I bet we could hear your mobile out there in Berenda Slough with this conditions. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, Dennis. It sure wasn't like that last night on sideband, was it?
No, I mean 20 over, and those were the stations that were thousands of miles away. How things change. What's up with that sun? Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, Dennis.
Pressing a few buttons here. The Silver State. All right, CB Lounge 2112's in the Silver State. We're in the Golden State. Is there a Bronze State? A Pewter State? The state of confusion. SWL 128. I think I saw John in this week over there at oldtuberadio.net. And I'm looking at my page, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, right there. The first one up on my screen. Hope all is well. Things have calmed down a little bit, and you're feeling better, sir. So we got you checked in. Out of Fairfax, Virginia. SWL 131 out of Clovis. Shortwave listener 133 out of Fresno. Also out of Fresno, SWL 135.
Now let's hope this thing is working. SWL 135 checking in.
135 is sounding good. It is working, and we will find out. I love the teasers you do. We will find out coming up in just a little bit what exactly that is that's working. Thanks for checking in. We've got a check-in for 137. See if Tony's in there. I have to look to see. He might have asked for an early check-in, and it scrolled by my page. Hello, Tony, SWL 145.
Good evening, Dennis and Annette. Tony 145 checking in.
Hey, it's nice when the band, the channel is crystal clear tonight. You're sounding good, and thanks for staying up late with us here. Tony is up the hill in Corsico, where they can, if there's skip any at all, they'll hear it. They'll wipe us out down here in the valley, but doing okay. Tony and then Neil, SWL 147. I will get Neil checked in. I think he stopped by, but if not, you got a proxy up there in Fayetteville. If you're listening in, I'll check the roster. Let's see if Bobby is in, SWL 188.
Good evening time, Dennis. Good evening time to all SWLs. 188 checking in.
So did you guys break the skip yesterday, and everybody's just tired out and doesn't want to play today?
I'm not sure. It's been quiet all day here. I haven't had a whole lot of time to sit by the radio, but conditions kind of fell out for us today, that's for sure.
All right, well, they will be back. Conditions will be conditions. And you're doing good on our conditions here. Thanks for checking in.
10-4, evening time.
All right, and Foxman, thanks for the updates. That's two things to remember. 362, that's probably two more than I can handle. But we'll see what we can do. Bobby's checked in. Back to the guy that got the program started. Are we still making it up the hill? Hello, 195.
195, checking in, Dennis, and we got all the holes plugged.
All right, maybe that's it. Boy, it's just, there's not even a leak. There's not even a leak going on, so we're putting all the material away. Don't need to do anything except sit back and listen to the net. Thanks for checking in and checking in. And let's go to Mr. Shockwave, 226. Anybody that would like to check in that I missed or whatever? I'm listening for you now. Over. Well, there was one with no audio and one with, dare we say, too much audio. So there's two check-ins. Over. And the Old Tube Radio Network will try again. But this time we'll be back in a moment with your Tube radios. I want to say hello to Night Owl, who is checking in with us, and back. So get those tubes warmed up. The Old Tube Radio Network doing what it does best in about 90 seconds. So stand by.
About Foxman 65 when you get back, Dennis.
I'm far away from the microphone, but not that far. Yeah, I will get. In fact, I think I did. I'm just you making me check my. Yes, I got Eric in. Thanks.
Thank you. Sorry to bother you.
It is not a bother. That is why I am in the air chair. If I didn't do that, I would have to go to the proverbial OTR blackboard and write, "You will check in." Whoever needs to get checked in more than 100 times on the blackboard. Okay, back in a moment.
That one.
Hey, he made it.
Yeah, not on my own steam though.
Are you all clammed up because you're steamed?
Yeah, I don't know. Took a while. I made it back. So, which one are you on?
That one.
Do that again.
I'm old, I forgot.
Oh, you'll find out in a minute.
Okay. So I have to wait a minute.
No, you don't have to wait at all. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. I got to do one more thing, though.
Harvey?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll give you a hint. It wants a cracker.
Is she very settled down and okay?
It has its senior moments.
Oh, so she's very calm.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, speaking of cool, calm, and collected, the Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
I tell you, our opening intro likes to get that 140% modulation up there. So hopefully it sounds good wherever you are. And I guarantee there will be some good sounding radios coming up here in just moments. The Old Tube Radio Network, tube talk time, as it were. My name is Dennis, net control for the evening. And hello to all of you. I did remember to turn, speaking of tube radios, to turn the one on in the back. And our radio pen sponsor, the Pocket Protector sponsor tonight, Hoffman Easy Vision Television. Let me turn on my little light. How many of you had an Easy Vision Television? Western Radio and Television Supply Company at 1415 India Street, in San Diego 1, California. Is that before they even had a zip code? 1415 India Street, San Diego 1. Very nice. This is a mechanical pencil, believe it or not. Let me go to the less than stellar. What's happened to the Pocket Protector? Where did all the pens go? There's just one. I guess maybe, did they finally take the suit in for cleaning? I believe I go to here, and there it is, the Hoffman, Easy Vision. You know what? We can do better than that. Yeah, Hoffman Easy Vision Television. And beautiful San Diego 1. But look at that. Look at that. Very sleek. This is sold, it's actually the metal, the, whatever this is actually pitting. But it will look good in the Pocket Protector. Enough of me. It is time for you and your radios. The Old Tube Radio Network is listening for any and all check-ins.
135, 135.
All right, we will take that one, getting us ready to start. I have to get my control pages up here where they should be. We will clear our rigs, and I will say, hello, Cliff. You are sounding good in your air chair. Take a transmission.
Oh, okay, cool. I made it. Hello. We appear to be just about right on, maybe a teeny bit high in frequency. But not by much. Anyway, okay, this is SWL 135 on a radio from Clifton, New Jersey. This is from, Polytronics Laboratories. This is the Polycom Senior 23. Guess how many channels it has.
All right, Polytronics, Polycom. I'm checking the Rolodex here. Senior 23. I'm trying to guess before I give myself too much of a clue by putting the picture on the screen. Well, I know some radios say 27, but that's for the frequency. And then some will have 1, 2, 3, or 4, but that's for the model update. So I'm going to go with the fact that the Polycom Polytronics Senior, and it looks like we have maybe perhaps a picture of the very one on which you were talking, could have very deluxe, very important, all 23 channels over.
You win the prize. Yes, it does indeed. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there is a theme I've been doing this month. I don't know if anybody's picked up on it yet, but you will at some point. Anywho, let's see. This thing has 14 tubes, and as you mentioned, all 23 channels. And I am on the. If you've got my picture up there, I think it's on top of the radio. This is the solid metal Polycom handheld unamplified microphone.
Yes, we are looking at the very well adorned Polycom SR23 with the microphonium. It looks sort of similar to the one that's on, or the one they use for the general radio telephone. I like the little starburst thing on the channel selector. It's like, whoa, here we are. But it is there, and we see it, and it sounds good. Over.
Oh, that's good. It's been a while since I checked it in, so I honestly didn't know if it was going to sound good. But yeah, it's been operating pretty darn well. This thing, I do not have the receiving unit, but I do have the Polycall ring. That's what it says here. I know it doesn't sound anything like a ring, but it says ring, so I'm going to ring it. A little CQ there. And that is the Polycall, which theoretically should call another Polycall unit and make that light in the upper right come on. At least that's the theory.
And theories can be a good thing. I thought maybe that was a little button, that red button by the channel selector, but I do see, and I'm on the close-up. This is as close as we can get, but the picture's quite well. The Polycall little slide lever in that cluster of controls over by the S meter, and your CQ. You've got a good slide switch fist there. Your CQ is quite nice, and I heard that without even having the receive unit.
Yeah, really. You don't even really need the thing. I guess I've developed a good thumb with this. Because, you can't use your fist. You can't even use your fingertips like a normal key. It's spring-loaded, and you just pop it over to the left, and it does that. If I pop it over to the right, neither one of us are going to hear anything, because that puts it in the state where it is waiting for a call. I still don't think I've ever found the unit that has to plug into this to make all that happen. But who knows? Someday maybe I will find one and plug it in there. Anyway, the Polycom Senior 23. And anything else you want to know about it?
Well, this is such a good picture. I pulled up some of the information on the Rolodex, and I was surprised and amazed. Why would I say that? This radio that looks fairly fancy and well adorned was 1962 or 1963. So this was before and maybe during the large tram TR-27E, the Browning 23S9. It had some pretty decent high dollar competition. And in 1962, I showed the price as $369. And in 1963, I see the price at $349.50, which I think might have been a going price for both of those other radios. So obviously, and we don't get a lot of the Polytronics radios here, but this is another top-of-the-line radio with every feature, all 23 channels. That's why the price is up, an S-meter and lots of control. So maybe going against the original 11-meter version of you just need to turn it on and you need to talk, say your license number and be done with it. This definitely looks like it was built for a little bit more than that.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of the Helicopter's CB1, isn't it? Where you get one channel and a volume knob and a push-to-talk bar. This has all the bells and whistles on it, as it were.
And it doesn't show, I don't have the location, but you gave it. What was the location of at least for where that radio was made, of the Polycom?
According to Sam's number 4, which I do have, it says Clifton, New Jersey.
Clifton, New Jersey. I think that's where, wasn't that where the Martians landed in 1939 on the radio? Maybe that was somewhere else.
Who told you about that? American? Human friend of mine?
I heard it on a radio show once upon a time. Description, first 23 channel, here we go. First 23 channel, all crystal controlled citizen band transceiver. Okay, so this is because I'm thinking, well, didn't Browning do that? But notice it says transceiver. Utilizing frequency synthesizing circuitry, built-in tone filter for selective calling, S-meter, and output indicator. Also serves as a PA system. So do you have that hooked up to the big speakers in the patio?
No, I don't. I've never been able to figure that out. I've got the pin, on the back, there are 10 pins for hooking all that junk up. There's relay, and there's like a 12-volt thing, and a hookup for an external speaker, a hookup for a PA speaker. And I've tried hooking some of those stuff up, and I ended up just getting a loud hum. So I'm not sure if I've got the proper pinouts.
All right. Well, I definitely heard the tone. Here are some historical addresses for Polytronics. Polytronics Laboratories Incorporated. I like their. Can I get the logo? Is the logo on anything? Their logo is so 1940s looking. I'll see if I can get that because it's pretty cool. I want to show that. Historical addresses. Polytronics Laboratories Incorporated, 900 Burlington Avenue, Silver Springs, Maryland. That could be that's their original, or their current one, if indeed they're still around. The one that may or may not, I think it says 1963 to 64, Polytronics Laboratories Incorporated, 88 Clinton Road, it looks like, West Caldwell, New Jersey. That's 63 to 64, and then 1962, and this radio was made from 62 to 63, so probably the one you mentioned, but we'll see. Polytronics Laboratories, 388 Getty Avenue in Clifton, and that's what you said, right? Clifton, New Jersey, over.
Yeah, and again, that's what it says in the Sam's number 4, so I have to take their word for it.
All right, I'm going to do the Radio Zero beat here, so take a transmission. I'll see where I can find you.
Okay.
It would be interesting to
See, I got 085, about 0852, 0853 on my meter. So it's a teensy is a bit high, or I don't know, for you it might be right on. I don't know, but it should be close enough for government work. What do you think?
Yeah, depending on which government we're speaking of. 27085.2. If I go to about 2.5, I start getting the tone. If I go to about 1 something, I get the tone. So you are very close to 200 cycles, which is pretty much undetectable. Of course, if since we're listening in the AM mode. Good signal, S9, and good modulation. And I'm thinking that radio would probably play pretty good through one of those big-time audio boards, but it sounds excellent with the supplied microphonium over.
Oh, that's good. Polycom, my kind of Polycom radio is probably what they intended it to sound like, but you never know. You don't happen to know, did they make any desk microphones? I don't think I've ever seen any Polycom desk microphones. And oh yeah, this thing was intended to go both bass and mobile, so maybe it just came with the mobile mic, but I've never seen a Polycom bass microphone, have you?
No, they built transceivers. You know, and I've seen the little conference desk phones that they have. We had one at Channel 30. It was from Polycom. It said Polycom. I don't know if that's the same place or not. And it was this really cool looking space-aged conference call telephone. It was in the middle of the conference table and it said Polycom. But whether that's the same company or not, I don't know. But it seems like they might be in the microphonium business. But we're talking, 60 years later. Let's see if any of the SWLs have information. And somebody says, I really like that microphone. They have the same microphone with a Hammarlund radio. All right, interesting. So I wonder who makes that. Let's see. Okay. Nobody commenting that on that question. Over.
Okay, and I have seen this particular microphone. On the back, this has in the rectangular area a foil sticker, with the Polytronics lightning bolt logo on it. But I've also seen these mics on some old Collins gear. Back to you.
That's what I'm thinking. It looks very utility, ceramic. I don't think it's carbon. Could be. I mean, you would know. I guess you could, if you took it apart, the little element would fall out and it would look like you're the one in your old telephone that you don't have anymore. It produces a good sound. The low frequencies are rolled off a bit for your voice, but again, the quality where it's pushing the audio sounds are perfect for communications. But it seems like it wants to sound big, even bigger than it is. So who knows? Documents. It says we have a schematic on file at oldtuberadio.com. So maybe we'll say something there. Polytronics Polycom Senior 23 also letting me know that they may have had some lesser priced radios back there in the early 60s.
Yeah, I think they did. Harvey would know more about that than I do, but I have seen several other models of the Polycoms, and they seem to come in several different varieties. Okay, well, thanks for letting me check it in. I'll let the channel roll, and let's see if I can do this. It's supposed to be KN, but see ya.
Yeah, it. Well, I was just reading here. It said the first transceiver using frequency synthesizing. So in my Regency Imperial that used frequency synthesize, for 1967, 68, I'll have a problem with one of those, 4 crystals in the synthesis or three crystals in line. And you lose channel 9, channel 15, channel 22 that way. It seems like all your channels are working. And so I wonder if they're, what their multipliers are, how they figured out how to do it. I think the Imperial uses a 7.2 or 7.5, and then it adds up. It adds the crystals up from there. So interesting stuff. And getting a lot of good comments on that radio, as well we should, from Polytronics. That would be, from just what I've heard, if things were like they were in 1963, that would be a daily driver here in 2023. Sounds good. Thanks for bringing it by and getting us started off. Oh, and did you mention, are you still there, Cliff? Did you mention And someone asked, and I don't have the answer because it's not on the back of my Rolodex. Do you know how many tubes are contained therein on Polycom?
Oh, yeah, I thought I mentioned that at the beginning. 14 tubes, if you include the two little new Visters. There's two of the 14 are new Visters.
Okay, which means it probably has a very decent receiver. And that's actually a pretty packed complement of tubes. I think 13, if you had sideband, you usually had an extra tube in there for something. So 14 is quite a power-packed item of interest, and no doubt it puts out some heat. All right, thanks.
Oh, yeah, you know, it gets every bit as hot as the 123B Robin. This thing gets unnaturally hot.
Well, you know, this is the unnaturally hot frequency. Over, did. All right, the jingle singers are ready to go. I do believe they coax them into the humid and not so fun studios here. We will be right back. This is the Old Tube Radio Network, checking in those classic radios from the late 50s, all throughout the 1960s and somewhat into the 1970s. Our tube radio collectors taking time out of their Saturday evenings to share their wares with us, and we're glad they do. Back in a minute from the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. For music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
And we are listening for radio number 2. I got a note. Just have to, if I don't key the microphone, you don't hear me. Have a note to check in SWL40. So let me bring up the shortwave listener list. And 40, what is going on? Are you staying subterranean? Are you having to go up and replace the cooler pads? He says from the cool place. So obviously it is the cool in temperature and cool in attitude as well. OTR standing by. Wow, I hear a little power line static going on there. Yeah, 72 degrees is doing quite nice. Unless, of course, you're working on the freezer. Who's joining us on the big list? Edmonton, Alberta. Hello to you up in the balcony. Did I see the stations from Squamish? Maybe a little later on in the net we will see if we can't put on the remote uplink and see if we can't hear from our friends up in Squamish. Right now, Edmonton listening in, where it's 10:28, mostly cloudy at 66 degrees out there. Alberta bound, as Gordon Lightfoot used to say. Here's Coyne, C-O-I-N-E, joining us from the UK, where the sun is coming up at 5:30 in the morning or something like that, at 46 degrees. Quick facts. Coyne, and that's what I call it, C-O-I-N-E, is a market town and civil parish in the borough of Pendle in Lancashire, located 3 miles northeast of Nelson. Well, let's say hello to Nelson as well. Germantown, Wisconsin, hello to you. Thanks for joining us as always, where it's 11:30, clear and 55 degrees. Who else is stopping by the Old Tube Radio Network tonight? Of course, Hans is listening in from Copenhagen. Fresno, and a host of others. OTR, we're standing by, listening. And 52 saying you'll have the ability to remote on the OTR frequency. Now that is scary, but I'm intrigued. I can think of one radio that could actually do that, were it to be, not cutting the green wire and thing. But there are some other choices and really cool radios out there in the SDR world. It's amazing what's going on with that. And so you are an SDR kind of guy, so it'll be interesting.
Dennis?
This is the basic Dennis, over.
Yeah, check me in. And this radio, and I'm a little tired, so that'll be it for me.
All right. Yeah, I was doing a lot of physical work. We've got, the street collection in Fresno is happening here, so I've been out and about trying to make that work. So when the body says that it's one radio and one check-in, and then you're going to do what I tell you, you should listen up for sure. Which radio du jour do you have? Over.
The radio du jour is for sure the Golden Beagle. Check that one in, and that should do it. I'm a little tired. I worked today, kinda, and had an adventurous day, so. Anyway, I've got to get some rest. I've got a busy day tomorrow.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. And you and me both. Someday, one of these days, there'll be that time when it's like, we'll wake up and it's like, you know what? We don't have to do this anymore. Over.
Yeah, tell me about it. Okay, my friend. We'll catch you next week, sir.
All right, thanks for joining us. You've got a lot of the stations listening in saying hello, radio, and in this case, goodbye, radio. Thanks for bringing by the Browning. It sounds good, and we will look for you next week. Take care.
60.
Hello, Joe and company, over.
Hello, Dennis. Good night, Harvey. And I must say, that radio clip was talking on, boy, that was a beaut. Really nice radio. Anyway, if we're making any kind of transmission here, we did dial you in there a little bit. We had to kind of do the old fine-tuning bit. But Dennis, we'd like to check in our Pretty Little Blue radio from World Radio Lab, My Hustler Bass.
What is the song Am I Blue? And we are going to say, you betcha. I will do some trickery to find aforementioned Blue Radio, which I know is here. So let me do it so that everybody, not only can we hear it, but I want everybody to be able to see it. So I have to do an image copy. And while I'm doing that, take another transmission. In fact, there's a couple people saying, go Blue. So I suppose if you were a Dodger fan, that would be the radio you want, over.
Oh, boy, that's right down my alley there. And in fact, we are a Dodger fan and have been for years. Hey, that's a nice gesture there for sure. We'd like to check in our Pretty Blue radio from World Radio Labs, 7 tubes, 8 channels. And we are talking on a Turner Plus 3 gray bass desk mic.
Good choice. Does the in the photo that we are looking for, there's the, of course, matching blue style hand microphone. Does that still exist somewhere? Is that put nicely into a box for future use?
We've got it packed away with several microphones. In fact, we'll have that out the next time so we can do a little comparison. That is that little blue mic that it is definitely the match for this radio. Other than the fact that it's been wired, it was hardwired through the bottom, and Harvey did put this new plug-in for me. Right below the word labs is my little 4-pin hookup, so I can use this test mic. And of course, I'll still be able to use that pretty little blue mic.
Well, hopefully you can. This has got 8 channels crystal controlled on the transmit with a possible external selection. It's got the red light. I can't remember, we talked about that. The red light, does that blinks when you modulate, or does that just show that the radio is on?
It basically shows that I'm keyed up, because the way it fluctuates, and it'll do that whether or not I'm modulating. It's like a little indicator light, tells me that I'm keyed up. I think if it was all dark, I would have to check something, right? No, it's flickering away. And doggone it, we did do a little fine-tuning there. Brought you up about 4 more pounds. That little tuning to the right and the bottom there is pretty good little knob there to set you in. But you asked me earlier about how far I was, in which direction basically I was, and I'm out here off of Western Dakota, not 99 Dakota, but we call it 99 Dakota, off of Western Dakota. And I'm surprised that I always get you so clear, so loud. I saw that needle kind of drop. Did I drop?
No, actually you came up, because I was hearing a little bit of background noise. And I had the S meter up. You were S7 before, and you came up to over S9, so I wonder if you've got an SWR issue, because typically, if the SWR is bad, the meter will want to pin. It will say, I've got a lot of reflected, and I'm sending, bad things back down the coax, and the meter's going to go funky. So when it went down, that meant your radio was happy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see the little bit of a fluctuation, and the coax situation is nothing around here. There's like a spider here with coaxes. So we might have to check this one and permanently secure it again, and not unrattle it like we do every so often, always checking another radio. But anyway, we did want to check this one in, and I hope she's doing okay, and like I say, you're always sounding great coming down this way.
Yeah, I left the S meter up. I don't know. It was back down to S7. So when the item happens, I was listening to see if there's crackling or anything. Basically, the noise floor comes up a little bit, because you drop about 10 dB, but the audio sounds good. I don't hear any crackling or buzzing in the radio. So could it be an antenna problem? We are having, let me go to the window. We're having a little bit of wind outside, so being out where you are, maybe you're getting a little bit more. So you're due east. You're directly due west of me. So maybe I was thinking you were farther north. That's why. I think my tree is not in the way. The hill is not in the way. A question was asked, how many of these radios were produced? I don't think we have ever found that out. It's sort of a stealth radio. And between World Radio Labs and Globe and Leo Meyerson, did they keep some good record books? I don't know. And only 7 tubes. You'd think these would have been flying off the shelf with the colors and everything else, but they seem to be quite rare. The other thing to watch, Joe, would be on your S meter. If my signal is fluctuating, kind of up and down a little bit, then indeed you might have an antenna or a coax or a jumper switch, something as well. But you said you were able to go to the tuning control and tune me in. Yeah, you peak my carrier, since I'm transmitting upper and lower sideband at the same time with carrier insertion. So I don't know if you noticed any fluctuation on your receive as well. Over.
I was watching that. The receive was okay. I noticed a minute ago that my battery fell out from the bottom, and I see a little fluctuation there. I may have to check that battery pack. I don't know if it's snapped in right, but it doesn't look like anything too serious. I'll give it a go over there for sure. But anyway, I don't have any fluctuation from your end receiving that is. Anyway, I do appreciate you letting me check this one in, and hey, if possibly we'll get another one here ready.
Okay, we'll be here to check it. Yeah, that time I did hear some crackling, but it wasn't microphone crackling because you were talking while it was happening. Just a little crackle, and the meter went up to S9 and back down to S7. So check your coax switches and jumpers, interface cables between items of interest. Just, make sure that everything is good. But I think that looks like what perhaps can be happening. The radio sounding pretty good. Could be an output tube as well, since you said you didn't see any receive going on. But 100% copy. At no time did I net control of the old tube radio network here in Central California, or the SWLs. You know who they are. They were never not. Is that double negative? They were never not able to hear you, or something like that. Thanks for stopping by. You are Radio 3. Over.
Thanks, sir, Dennis. We did have a loose coax. In fact, we're going to have to check it. I just hand tightened it right now, completely loose. A thread or two was all that was holding it. I think I might have switched it over to another radio and worked it loose. But it should be okay now.
Okay, it is solid. I have seen you, and that's at the S7, so I have seen you a little bit stronger, but no crackling. So it did. You're still down about 2 S units, but because we have a no noise at all, an S7 is like 40 over 9 tonight. So very good. A fan favorite. Always glad to have it stop by the old Tube Radio Network. Over.
Okay, Dennis, we got another one warming up.
All right, I'm sort of waiting for the eSkip to come in. Let me see if I can bring up our DX map. See what it's showing here tonight. Oh, and it's showing nothing. Why? Why is that? Well, all right. If it were to show something, there is nothing going on, really. So, as you can tell from the blank screen, the jingle singers are going on. We'll be back in a moment with your tube radios.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, your favorite spot on the dial by far is known to you.
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
Radio Lounge, KJ6EQB.
All right, I think we have perhaps what we call in the old Tube Radio Network a cross-band check-in. We will check it out, so to speak. Hello, radio from KB6GFD.
No, thank you. I hope I'm not interrupting something on the 11 meters. I'm just now getting home. And thanks for, if you wouldn't mind, marking me as present, please.
I can do that. Present and accounted for. SWL 47 will get the proverbial X and square. You showed up nicely on the crossband, which was turned on. So thanks. And it's been busy. I don't know if you are at commencement ceremonies or things of that nature, but you sound like you've had a busy day, and we appreciate you stopping by. Over.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll cut this short. It has been a long evening, but what's even I don't want to say it's worse, but what's even sadder is there are bad. I'm trying to make this sound better than it is. Something bad happened with my campsite when I think I emailed you when I was going to do the Morro Rock thing. I actually think my campsite got washed out. I don't have it anymore. So we may have to try another evening for that. I'll tell you about that at some other point in time. Imagine that, your campsite you can't have because of snow melt.
I wouldn't doubt that. I heard an EAS test over our radio station today, and it was for southern Fresno County, and I do believe they mentioned Sequoia and up in that area with flash flooding going on. So lots of snow at 7,000, 8,000 feet. And so when we get those 90-degree, 80-degree temperatures, or even 70-degree temperatures with that amount of snow, the water has to go somewhere. So we did have a flash flood warning today on the EAS. So sorry to hear that. Yeah, I hope we don't have too much damage, and or if things settle down, there will, like you mentioned, there will be something left to go see. So thanks for the try. We'll talk to you later, but thanks for checking in.
Yeah, my pleasure, and thanks for chiming back. It's nice to chat on the radio, even though it's not a vacuum tube. So thanks, Dennis, I appreciate it. KB6GFD, KJ6EKB.
All right, 73 KB6GFD. That was Michael, SWL47 on the crossband, and as you heard, and he's done it before. We was going to try and take one of his portable mobile tube radios up to some greater elevations and beacon down into the flatlands here, but as he said, he went to check on camp possibilities, and camp might not be there. Those who are hearing about the flooding, that's what's going on. The flooding is happening on the higher levels, happening in lower elevations where the water goes, but where the water is rushing down through these campsites and things that normally would have a trickle. They are, the Forest Service is trying to be safe, the parks are trying to be safe and saying, we would prefer that you don't come up here to have a good time until we can make sure that you can have a good time because of the rain and water, or the snow melt flooding. The Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio is glowing in the dark, and we will be listening for radio number 4. And not many radios tonight. As you can hear, a lot of people checking in. It has been one other thing, and myself included. We have had a heat wave here, and that correlates to what Mike was saying about the snow melt. The last 2 weeks, we went from very cold temperatures to up in the high 90s, 195, and it's causing this very quick snow melt. What it's also doing is causing those of us who were expecting a sort of spring-like transition to all of a sudden be in the midst of summer, and we still have a lot of outdoor things or just normal things we do, and all of a sudden it's like, oh boy, what's going on with the heat here? So I think a lot of people are just realizing that you don't want to overexert yourself, for one thing, and if you did, you definitely need to listen to your body, and it says you need to be going to bed or take it easy, then that's what you should do. So that's what's going on here in the Central Valley tonight. A little breeze blowing. I think where the temperatures are going to be heading down for a day or two, and then we're going to be back up in the 100-degree weather. So we will see what's going on. But anyway, we'll be listening for your radio check-ins on the Old Tube Radio Network. And what we might do, maybe as a way to summon up the radio gods and goddesses, And I'm checking with Charlie and Chet. Do we have the wherewithal to do that? I would like to have. This is when you want the DX to come in. This is when you perhaps would like to have a little extra stuff. So with that in mind, perhaps our friends at Espresso Trucking Company can conjure up a little bit of DX for us tonight with their tune. And I guess apologies to Paul and Art, if you know what I mean. Back in a moment.
My old friend, I've come to shoot skip once again, because my linear softly tweaking pinned your meter while I was peaking, and the audio that punched through your RF gain is not to blame. It's just the sounds of DX. In restless dreams I talked alone, when no DX could reach my zone. Neath the halo of an old tube amp, I keep my mic down like a DX jam. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of my on-air light, it lit the night and filled my ears with DX. And in the distant night I heard an eagle's pinging a Q-bird. People talking without breaking, people talking about nothing, people keying old tube rigs that crackle through the air without a care, and fill the waves with DX. I said, bros, you do not know how to work an oscilloscope. Watch my TikToks that I might teach you. Swing your beam so that I might reach you. But my words, like burnt out finals fell. It's just as well echoed in the walls of my shack. The operators bowed and prayed to the noise toys they had made, and the scope flashed out its warning in the waves that it was forming. Net control said the words of the text are written in the photo facts and CB tricks, and whispered in the sound of DX.
Break OTR.
Now there is a break OTR. Go ahead, sir. Over.
Yeah, I've been trying to get in there since 8 o'clock, but I haven't been able to make it.
You're sounding good now. We're having a relatively skip-free. We were trying to conjure up some DX there, and at least we made it to Madera. Over. You gave it the proper try. You're sounding good. Have a great night, and we will get you checked in. Thanks, Dean.
Thank you, Dennis. You have a good night, my friend.
All right. Well, it worked. We got some DX out to Madera on a station that was wanting to check in. So maybe we have perhaps cleared the airwaves for our final 10 minutes here. Thank you, ETC, the Old Tube Radio Network, listening. Now, let's see, who just walked in? Somebody just walked in up there on the balcony. Orlando, Florida. Orlando, Florida's in. Could that be Warthog 95? I don't know. Well, we'll stand by. And Eric, were they holding? I was wondering what that was. They were holding up the lighters. So wanting an encore. That's a pretty dangerous thing to ask with the Espresso Trucking Company. And if all you got was a burnt thumb, that's probably a good thing. I'm also going to bring up the satellite link-up. And I don't know if our friends in Squamish are out and about, but I'll have that ready to go here in a few minutes. We got to get the squirrels in the little cage. All right, so the old Tube Radio Network, we've got the, they said the signal looks pretty good tonight, so we've got the beacon up on Channel 11, on 27085 up in Squamish, British Columbia. So if you guys are up there, you're on frequency, if I got it dialed in, I'm on 27085. Oh, you know what, they said it's not on frequency. Let me get, okay, we got it at 27085, so if you're out and about, we'll be listening for you. Over. In the meantime, locally, we're listening for radio number 4. Over, over. And that's not fan noise. Actually, I brought up, let's see, I'm going to bring it here. I brought up the, there it is. Put your ear to the radio and you can hear the ocean. That was the link up. See if we could hear the stations up in, where are they? Squamish, that's it, but I don't hear anything. I'll keep it out on the chart, but that was the receiver. Very quiet up there. Oh, here they go. Wait a minute. Let me turn the volume up. I may have just missed it.
And enjoying the show tonight.
There it is. All right, and that was 27085. Yeah, take another transmission. I missed, who was that chiming in? Just, you know, it never fails. Just as I turn down the receiver and undo the link, here comes the signal. So give us another hello radio up there in Squamish. And glad to have you around. I always enjoy when we can get and somebody on the radio on Channel 11, no matter where it is. Go ahead, over.
It's Albert in Squamish,
It's showing the Orban meter, which I'm not sure if that's where I was. But there's actually just still some people out there. I'm waiting. Oh, and there we are. Let's see. I'm going to wave my hand. And, okay, so it's been recording this. So, hello from OTR Control, where we have successfully rebooted after the strange crash. So, hello, everybody. Unkeying the Echo link and listening. Oh, you know what? I can't hear. Oh, there's nothing to hear. I'm saying I can't hear the radio because there's nothing to hear. It is, the radio would be here, right? There's your radio audio, but we are back online. So I think what happens is that big pause while the OTR computer, while I changed a few tubes, it will patch from the second it went away to the second it came back with myself. So all of a sudden my jacket will go away, basically. There we go. Okay, we can see the video, but you can't. Can you hear the video as well? That's the question. Over. Am I feeding? Yeah, I'm still feeding. I'm still listening to the sound card output. I still have wiggle meters on the mic auxiliary. Yeah, there's a strange crash, and we're thinking because I have multiple cameras and possible multiple drivers and an old operating system that's no longer supported. At some point, the little brain gets confused, and as Mitch was saying, it says, I'm going to shut down to protect you from, I can't, whatever I think might be happening. And so it takes a while for the computer to come back up. When it comes back up, it wants to do updates. And then once it comes back, because there are so many things going on, I have to reset, recalibrate, and reconnoiter all the pages and links to get the picture back. But the stream keeps on going. It's like a bus. It's like a bus, and the driver dumps out, and then the bus is still going down the hill with all the passengers, and the driver is going, and then he finally grabs the bumper and climbs his way back onto the bus to grab the steering wheel. And so that's what happened. I've grabbed the steering wheel over. And thank you for the video and audio are working. So that's what happened here at the Old Tube Radio Network, where we were discussing that 3 radios tonight. Because of the heat, because of the weather, everybody is just kind of not able to function for this little heat wave going on. So you heard it tonight. A lot of people just checking in briefly and saying, I'm out of here, or I'm going to bed, or I don't feel good, or whatever. So that's what happened tonight. And then the computer itself didn't feel good. I even had to take a nap. I took a nap before the program because I thought, I'm not going to make it through this. And then the computer, and then I take a nap, and the computer doesn't make it through it. So what kind of compatibility is that? All right, well, gee, I'm amazed that a lot of people were sort of hanging out, watching whatever was on the screen. I don't know if it was like a freeze frame of me doing, or just nothing. But it's back, and all is well for a future episode of the Old Tube Radio Network. Yes, we were talking about the updates at certain times, or in this case, no updates. And this particular malady, which has happened prior, to those of you who remember, hadn't happened in a long time because I had the updates turned off. And I thought that was working. And so I have an update, do not read me. So I may, if the updates got turned on, I may turn them off again once I found the thing that does that. And a little software manager message just popped up on the screen. So I have some things to look at on the computer. And then maybe it's time to actually get into the 21st century and get a new computer. We will see. This one works. It's just got the strange, and it's called an LVRS64.SYSBSOD problem, where it tries to help you. All right, anyway, everybody, good night. We are back. What time is it? It's 11:02 here on the West Coast. So I'll watch that video. If it's got wackiness, I will get rid of it. But I think it's going to chop it from the end of the regular program to the beginning of what just happened. What is interesting, though, is will it eliminate all the chats? Because I've got the main chat window here, so I can still have, I can kind of still see what's going on. But I think all the chats that happened while there was no streaming, I don't know where they will be. We'll find out. All right, that's enough. I'm just kind of 2 a.m. Holy cow. I'm just kind of babbling here. Thanks, Mr. Skidoo, for the possible helpful hints. And then, like I said, when I turn everything off here, I'm going to check to see if my updates gone to manual, because I think trying to uninstall and reinstall and figure out backup drivers probably is going to be more of a Pandora's box than is possible. And I suppose I could test by taking one of the cameras out, but it could, like this, it could run for 3 months before it happens again. I wouldn't know. You just don't know. That's why we're so happy that our tube radios do not have any computer control. Thanks, Hans. Yeah, I haven't changed anything on the audio port. I've got the receiver. Where's the receiver? This is 40 meters here. Let's see if we got. I don't have my monitor here. Oh, that's right. See, all my monitors are off. There are so many things I have up running at the same time. Audio monitors, video monitors, replays, links, that when it resets, it takes 20 minutes to take everything up. But that's 40 meters. Band is pretty quiet. Not much going on. And then 75. There's something. What's going on here? That AM? I don't know what that is. Somebody's left their microphone open.
Communications must be really good, and atmosphere is
3916.
really good tonight. So anyway, I got a lot.
Can you see? Watch something besides me.
One buddy from.
See, and there's the S meter. I have to. Everything defaults to 0, so that's the S meter without me fixing
Anyway,
it.
it's good to hear Canada out there. Over.
That's another 5-minute job.
Yeah. No. I'm getting you.
And the Orban meter
Here.
is on. You know why? Because I have to fix that as well. All right. Well, let me turn that on. There it is. Good night, everybody. Update factory recovery media now. Recommended. All sorts of little things popping up here.
Okay, real good. Yeah. Well,
You know what? We have squirrels all over, and they chew the AT&T fiber.
You're back up, but anyway, for the most part, you're 100% coffee there, and you know, I don't.
And the 40-meter guy, that was down in the DX section, so. Boy, not very strong.
Déjame saludar a Dr. Will, que hacía tiempo que no lo escuchaba y
that's some nice audio.
Que escuchábamos de menos y se te extraña realmente, especialmente ya que tú eres el coordinador de la rueda.
Argentina, is that what you said?
Perdidos sin ti, Dr. Will. No sabíamos qué hacer, nadie hablaba por radio por las noches, no había una organización. No había alguien que saliera a llamar.
Definitely a lot of fading going on there.
Porque esperando que así que tú subieras a empezar la rueda y nada.
All right, good night, John.
Así que estamos un poco perdidos sin tu guía, doctor Will. Espero que estés bien y creo que estás levantado todavía hasta estas horas. Me imagino que bastante ansioso de hablar por radio. Adelante, por W.
One foot on the ladder, one foot on the windowsill, one hand on the drywall, holding the sheet up and running screws at the same time. And now, holy mackerel, man! It was a wrestling match, and I think we lost every round. Over.
Oh, now something else is installing. Dell Backup and Recovery. All right, I'll go ahead and shut this thing down officially. The bands are
nail that spot down.
Doing what they do.
1 second, I got another radio going here. Just be one moment.
Okay, there it is. Listen to that. Hear that? That's 20 meters on the 40-meter antenna, and that's the FT8. That is the... Ouch. Breaking it up here. So you would think that maybe there'd be some phone. And there it is. So 20 meters is open. If you got a good antenna.
environment, so I sat at a desk and...
Not sure what's open, but it's all down in the extra portion. So Cycle 25 is alive and well.
Georgia was a big deal, but I was able to do it. But now
this PC,
turning 70.
I'm not even sure. It might be an AMD. It's from 2014.
The dental work. I had the dermatologist cut out a piece of me.
I'm just reading 23's comment. that's why we turned off the video.
I'm really feeling it. So I can imagine, what you said about turning 80.
Well, yeah, I removed my jacket because, it's still warm, and this room is very warm. W2. So we're here in New York, talking probably to. I didn't hear who he was talking to. Lots of static. Lots of noise. So I've got a big thing in the middle of my screen. External USB hard drive. Please plug into kits containing recovery media. Okay. Great. I have okay, here we go. I had something on my screen that's blocking my view. So back to the control room. Yeah, I've still got the official shirt. All right, I will talk to you later, everybody. Good night.